Alex, I got a quick question about that for all of you, which is, and here we all get to kind of speculate because this is not in our investment sweet spots, I think, any of us, but OpenAI at 300 billion, is that too expensive? Is it a deal? Like what would each of your pain threshold be for the valuation of OpenAI, at which you'd say this is absolutely overpriced?
Well, I'll answer last and give our friends first shot here. Astasia, Matt, who wants to jump off the plank first? Okay, I'll call on you. Astasia.
Oh. I think there's huge upside in OpenAI today. We just kind of talked through their product approach. You have the infrastructure layer that they're building with the models. They're moving into more developer tools and platform, as well as up the stack for AI applications. I don't think it's unreasonable to imagine this becoming one of the largest companies in the world. So, would I buy at 300? Probably.
Would you buy at 500? With your own money? Like, not speaking for Felicis, just literally Astasia Myers, your checkbook.
Probably.
Okay. Matt?
It's a complex question. I would, if you look at the current revenue growth rate and the sheer number in terms of revenue versus the most recent valuation, the multiple is actually not that crazy at all. But all of this happening at massive scale. That's a question about what that means, how much more room there is to grow given the many billions we're talking about. So I'm personally bullish on the company, and it would probably be a buyer now, personally, and in probably the near future. Having said that, the firms that put billions and billions of dollars into that company, I just admire that from afar. I mean, that would be so incredibly nerve-wracking for me, because there's many ways this can go wrong, and it's still a nonprofit company. There was a CEO question that came up. There is management questions. There is a bunch of developers and researchers that leave, that getting poached by Meta. There's like every day there's a reason to just give an answer to somebody that has put billions of dollars in the company. So much power to my colleagues that do that and play that game. As bullish as I am on the company, I just find it incredibly scary.
Well, I mean, whenever you make a big gamble, it's pretty scary. We've all made a bluff that in a poker game that we've hoped would get by and didn't, and we've all been on the other side of that. I think the growth to 10 billion in ARR, DA, to answer your question, putting OpenAI at effectively 30x ARR makes it very, very cheap for its technology, I would say, level of prominence, how quickly it's shipping, and just given its growth rate, it feels cheap. Pain threshold, okay, so today at 10 billion, 600 billion would be 20x ARR. Given what I've heard about a lot of startups that some of our fine friends may have put money into recently, that's still incredibly cheap. So I think I'd pay up to 30x for it today. So about $1 trillion, which sounds ridiculous, but I watched Google go public, and I know what generationally defining companies can become in time. And if it's already this large and growing this quickly and this important, sure, I'd take a flyer on it for, I don't know, a third of my net worth. But DA, you can't ask the question without answering it. So take us home.
It's really hard. I mean, constitutionally, I'm a value investor, and I think I don't say that to be sanctimonious about it. I just think it's really difficult to price something like this. It wasn't long ago that we had no trillion-dollar companies, and the first ones that we got were companies that have been building for decades. So, sure, there's a possibility we're in a completely new regime where companies can become worth $1 trillion in just a few years. I don't know. I guess it hasn't happened yet, and they may be the first ones to do it. And then there's obviously the question of, what kind of multiple do you need to take the relevant risk? So, for it to be a 10x from here is a lot harder than for it to be a 2x. And then you have to compare that opportunity to all the other opportunities where you think you can get 2x and ask whether you're taking more or less risk.